when I talk to other leaders, everyone else is experiencing the same thing. I think in 2020 there was a sense of, coming to terms with the pandemic, having a bit of a view that, that vaccines were on the horizon. And then 2021, Delta, I think everyone has had to come to terms with the fact that this pandemic was not going away quickly, and we were going to have to find new ways to live our lives and keep people safe and keep going. And so, I think everyone feels the exhaustion of that, and knowing that we're going to have to keep going with this pandemic in the background next year as well. But I'm still cautiously optimistic. You think about what we have now that we didn't have a year ago. We have widespread vaccination rates, some of the best in the world. We have antivirals now that are coming on stream for early next year. We have the prospect of vaccination to protect our kids. And we have so much more information about COVID-19. So I am cautiously optimistic. And we are in the best possible position at the end of this year to weather that next year. The way we got there was hard. I will spend a lot of time, I know, over the summer thinking about how could I have got us here in a way that had more certainty, that was smoother. I will reflect on that a lot, but where we have finished is the right place. It is a long game, and I remember saying at one point when someone asked me, I think in last year, to rank how we had done, I said, well, actually we need to ask that question when we're done, and we're not. But if we look at where we were in 2020 and now here, still the lowest case rate, the lowest deaths, some of the highest vaccination rates, and on top of that, some of the lowest unemployment in the OECD. We have, as a country, finished strong, and I know we had so much pride in our response, and we should still hold that, because relative to other countries, there is no perfect response, but what we've produced is a really good one, despite it having been really hard. The choices have been between two hard things. At no point has it been, well, here's the easy option and here's the hard. Everything has been hard. All of the choices have been, difficult choices, ones we would rather not be in the position of having to make. I do spend a lot of time thinking about them, but I also go into them often thinking, actually, this is just where we need to go. And once those decisions are made, you have to move on to the next one and eventually give yourself space to cast back. I'm really determined that we will keep learning, that we will be willing to reflect on what went well, what could have been done better, because we do have to take all of that with us. So I'll look at the vaccine rollout and say, actually, how can we do better for the 5 to 11? What do we need to learn from the overall rollout for that next stage? My hope is that we've put us in the best possible position that we can think again about all those other challenges that we're really keen to address in the new year. So there's a couple of things that obviously we had a great FTA that we've managed to produce this year. I want to add another one to that next year, and I think that'll make a big difference for our exporters.
Good gin and champagne then.
So we'll finish off the final stages of one, add another, meaningful. I want to continue to make progress on our climate goals, because by doing that we put our economy on a surer footing. It is about our environmental obligations, but climate change is one of our biggest economic challenges too. I want to, of course, keep progressing those health reforms, which will put us on a surer footing for any future challenge, but also just mean that no matter where you are in the country as a New Zealander, you'll get decent health services. Over these last 2 years, I just appreciate the little things and time with people. And so our Christmas will be very simple with our family, and some of whom we haven't seen in a very long time, just like lots of others. We'll visit my family, and then we'll visit Clark's family, and we really don't have plans beyond that. And yeah, I think just a little bit of time in some actual sun, which Wellington really struggles to produce sometimes.
You'll be leaving our pet capital.
Yes. One thing that I probably picked up from my mother is I'm always up for a really cheesy Christmas film. So maybe even if I don't have a single one, I love cheesy Christmas films.
Do you believe that Die Hard is a Christmas film? It's quite a controversial thing.
It is. Actually, I'm going to put it I'm going to put it in a Christmas film, but that doesn't mean it should only be watched at Christmas. So that's probably where I would land on that one. Home Alone would be a good classic for me.
Thank you very much for your time, Prime Minister. Appreciate it. Have a good Christmas.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you too.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald. Click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.